Did you know a single sniper once crawled for 3 days straight to take one shot? His name was Carlos Hathcock, a United States Marine, one of the most lethal snipers in the Vietnam War. In 1969, he was given a mission almost no one believed was possible. Crawl 1,500 meters through enemy-controlled jungle, reach a North Vietnamese general, kill him, get out alive. The jungle was full of patrols, guards who would shoot him on sight. So Hathcock moved at the speed of a shadow, inches at a time. For 3 days and 3 nights, he did not sleep. He did not eat. He barely breathed. Enemy soldiers passed close enough to touch. He stayed completely still, not just his body, his mind. One wrong twitch and he was dead. On the 3rd day, he finally had his shot. He took it. The general dropped. Then Hathcock crawled all the way back out. What he proved was not just that the mission was possible. He proved the human mind can be stretched far beyond what most people think is real. A man was murdered on a busy London bridge in broad daylight. Nobody saw it happen. Georgy Markov was a Bulgarian writer who had fled to England and was broadcasting for the BBC. His words were reaching people back home, and his government wanted him gone. On September 7th, 1978, he was standing at a bus stop on Waterloo Bridge when a stranger bumped into him. The man apologized and walked away. Markov felt a small sting in the back of his leg. That night, he developed a high fever. 4 days later, he was dead. Doctors were baffled. When they finally found it during the autopsy, they almost didn't believe it. A platinum pellet, barely larger than a pinhead, had been fired into his leg from a modified umbrella. It was packed with ricin, one of the most lethal poisons on Earth. The weapon was designed with KGB assistance specifically to kill him. Markov had told his colleagues months before that his government was planning to murder him. He was right. They just waited until he stepped outside. Did you know the Nazis had a specific kill order out for a single Soviet soldier? Her name was Lyudmila Pavlichenko. By 1942, she had 309 confirmed kills on the Eastern Front. She was 25 years old. The German military knew her name, they knew her face, and they sent their best snipers to find her. That changed everything about how she worked. Every morning she crawled into position before sunrise. She would lie still for hours, not moving, barely breathing, because somewhere out there, someone was doing the exact same thing, except they were looking for her. This is what the history books skip. She was not just hunting, she was being hunted. At the same time, every single day, one German round grazed her face before she found him first. She survived multiple targeted attempts on her life. Each time, she came back to the same fields, the same rubble, the same silence before a shot. 309 kills. And she died in her bed at 64 in 1974. The snipers they sent after her did not. Did you know the CIA once built an entire fake company just to steal a nuclear submarine from the bottom of the ocean? In 1968, a Soviet submarine carrying nuclear warheads sank in the Pacific Ocean, 3 miles below the surface. The Soviets searched for months. They never found it. The CIA did. So they launched one of the most audacious cover-ups in history. They secretly built a massive deep-sea salvage ship and told the world it belonged to Howard Hughes, the famous billionaire. The story was that Hughes wanted to mine the ocean floor for minerals. Nobody questioned it. The ship was called the Glomar Explorer. It took 6 years and around $350 million to build. In 1974, it sailed directly over the wreck while Soviet naval ships circled nearby, watching. The Soviets had no idea what was happening below them. The CIA managed to recover part of the submarine, along with 2 nuclear torpedoes and the remains of Soviet sailors. But the front section, the part carrying the nuclear warheads, broke apart during the lift and fell back into the darkness. It is still down there. What the CIA actually recovered has never been fully declassified. Did you know the US military used its own sailors as test subjects, then spent decades pretending it never happened? In the 1960s and 70s, the Navy ran a classified program called Project Shad. The goal was to test how effective biological and chemical weapons were against naval vessels at sea. The sailors on those ships were never told what was being sprayed on them. No warning, no protective gear. Just men going about their duties while nerve agents drifted across the deck. After the tests ended, the program was buried. The files were sealed. The sailors went home. Then the illnesses started. Tremors, cancers, neurological damage. Men who had been strong and healthy were falling apart, and no one could explain why. When they filed for veterans' benefits, the government told them the program didn't exist. For decades, that was the official answer. Nothing happened. There is nothing to find. It took until 2002 for the records to be declassified. Some of the men who lived through those tests never found out the truth before they died. The exposure was the crime. The silence was the choice. Two physicists, same experiment, same core, both dead within months of each other. In 1945 and 1946, Los Alamos scientists were running an experiment they called tickling the dragon's tail. The goal was to push a sphere of plutonium as close to a chain reaction as possible, then pull back just in time. The core weighed 6.2 kilograms. They called it the Demon Core. Harry Daghlian was first. He was alone in the lab, working late, carefully stacking tungsten bricks around the core to reflect neutrons inward. He slipped. One brick dropped. The room flashed blue. He died 25 days later. 9 months after that, Louis Slotting was running the same experiment. He was using a screwdriver to hold two beryllium hemispheres apart, keeping the core just barely subcritical. The screwdriver slipped. Same blue flash, same burning sensation in his hand. He died 9 days later. These weren't careless men. They were brilliant men. And that was the problem. Brilliance had made them comfortable. And the Demon Core had no tolerance for comfort.